Hello there, and welcome back to Talking Leeds. Another match reaction. Going to be a little bit of a more depressing one, I feel, this week. But I am filling in again for Aaron, who's still away on new fathering duties. So you've got to put up with me for another week, I'm afraid, just to pile on the misery. However, to balance that out, I'm joined by Gerry McNamee. Gerry, how are we feeling?
Good to see Alfie again. Yeah,
Andrew.
Aaron, the new baby's dead easy, new baby. So I had my new baby at the game yesterday. He is 27, but it
Ah,
was yeah.
same thing.
Uh, words that pop out at me. Welcome to the Premier League. Naive, tactics wrong, not defining game. Lot of concerns in there. I think reality hits, and we knew this was going to be like Arsenal's not a place we're going to go expecting points. There's a lot of places we will. Would have hoped. I think the manner of it was a bit disappointing yesterday. Good day out. The Leeds fans were absolutely fantastic yesterday. I think it was 4-0 down. We don't give a feck. Yeah, we're staying up. Something words to that effect. And then it went 5-0. And when I went back to my car, I was parked right beside Mr. and Mrs. Strike and their kids.
Ah,
and
no way.
yeah, and they all are beautiful people. I have to see where Pascal gets his good looks. Really nice people. But anyway, it wasn't a good day. We're currently 12th in the table. I'm looking at Crystal Palace are drawn 1-0. Jordan Pickford's just saved the penalty for Everton. Everton winning 2-0. Fantastic stadium, but let's forget about them. Yeah, it wasn't great. Arsenal top team, £1 billion team. We're much less than that, and it showed. I'm afraid it showed, and we've got to be different against teams like this. I think that's what comes from this. Yeah, disappointing all around.
Yes, it's a big wake-up call, isn't it? Especially after
Mm.
after last week. I think if anyone was thinking that this season was going to be any less difficult than the last time we were there, I think obviously have been brought back down to earth. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just want to say I missed the whole game. I was watching the Women's Rugby World Cup in York, so missed everything. But do you know what? I think I picked the right time to do it. So haven't seen much of the game from what I can piece together from
Who was
friends.
playing yesterday? Who was playing?
It was Canada against Fiji,
Oh, the
as it
big one.
happens.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The big match. Yeah, it was. I think it was 64-7 to
yeah.
Canada
Well,
in the
listen, why
end.
don't they
So
just cut out all the crap and just have England playing New Zealand? Because that's what's going to end up, isn't it? But anyway, yeah.
my thoughts exactly. Anyway,
Anyway, that's this
I'm not.
side.
Yeah, besides the point. Yeah, just let's just deflect and talk about something completely different, so we don't
Yeah.
have to dissect yesterday. But realistically, Gerry, I don't think anyone was really thinking about going into yesterday about getting anything other than maybe a point at best.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, it was a bit of a pathetic performance
Yeah, yeah.
in
I think,
parts, but
yeah.
how much really can we take from yesterday?
Well, I think from the start, from the team selection, we basically well, it was the same team other than Ampadu, Gruev in for Ampadu, and Biol and Okafor on the bench, and Ramzani off the bench. He looks, from what I hear, he's off to Valencia, which seems, he's not in the pecking order, which is a bit disappointing. But anyway, that's the way football goes. But I thought it was naive the way we set up. We really have to be ugly in games like this. We were naive. We were a bit overawed, a bit too respectful of Arsenal, and our midfield was overrun. When they did get the ball, they lost it. Our defending, I mean, against one of the best teams in Europe, if not the world, at set pieces, we got caught out. And dare I say, our goalkeeper.
Mm.
The second goal is the sort of goal I let in 5-a-side. He sort of waved his arm a bit like that, and he didn't look very mobile. It's too early to say, maybe, but that wasn't good. If Melia lets that goal in last season, we're Yarmon. So he was really poor yesterday. But yeah, I thought we should have started with Longstaff. We should have had three at the back, five at the back, three centre half. I think Michael mentions it there. I was going
Yeah.
to say it, that we should have played those three at the back. And our full backs. I mean, Bogle got booked early. I thought the referee was a Premier League referee. Like Jared Gillett's one of the better ones, but yeah, he didn't give us much to rub the green. An early booking was a bit harsh, but anyway, that aside. But we seem to be holding our own. I mean, Pascal had a hell of a header and great save, but that was it. It's the Johnny Cooper stats again. I think it was the first time since the last time we were in the Premiership where we didn't have a shot on target in the second half. We did absolutely nothing. A couple of times Dan James burst through, but when we did win the ball in midfield, we give it straight away. But I mean, we were holding out okay, and you thought just get to half time. But first corner, and Declan Rice takes the corner. I got a good chance to shout abuse at him, as you know, he's one of my favourite players, and swung the ball in. And you know, at Arsenal, you're looking at the centre halves for the headers, but and Joe Rodon was looking around him, and he missed old Timber, and you know, add in your own puns about Timber, you know, that he fell into place. Oh, there's loads. You know,
Yeah.
we know them all. We're not going to do. Wouldn't try to do that. But he just nipped in and scored a goal, and you'd think 1-0. Let's try and hang on to half time. And again, second goal, Gruev gets the ball. He's bullied out of it, gives it away straight. Goodmanson's beaten, and Saka hits it. Top corner, he hits it hard. He scored one similar the last time at Allen Road, but the keeper's got to be doing better. Now, he just can't do that. That was poor. And I thought that a whistle had blown, and he just, you know, let it. He had the shot. So we're 2-0 down, and that's game over, really. And we should be changing this at half time. I know Farke is 70 minutes and all that, but Jesus, this is the time you really just think, let's get it tighter. Let's, you know, we might nick something out of this. The likelihood is not, but let's not get it that we're going to get trounced. So, of course, we're 4-0 down within 10 minutes of the second half. I mean, Gorkez, player who we looked at a few years ago, he cuts inside, twists Pascal around, and just buries in the bottom corner. And maybe can't blame the keeper for that. It was a good finish, but again, defensively, we were all over the place. And the fourth goal was pinball. You know, I looked at the still of it this morning on Match of the Day, and we had about 7 players around that ball. Still didn't clear it. After that, Arsenal took their foot off. Farke made the point afterwards. They had 5 shots on goal and scored 5 goals. You suppose you can't remember a keeper making any stunning saves. We can't make him making any saves. Of course, I forgot earlier about our pussyfooting at the back, nearly give the ball away. We give the ball to Gorkas and didn't finish. And we got to stop this. That's that sort of football. We're not going to be able. But Southampton tried that last year and they looked silly. So, and then the 5th goal. This 6-year-old comes on for Arsenal, Downton, whatever his name is. Looks a great player, and skinned Goodmanson a few times. He was a penalty, I suppose. He stood on his toe, and it's 5-0, and you just want the game to end. You want it to end early, but naivety all over the pitch. I can't pick anybody out who was decent on the day. Okafor came on, showed a few nice touches, didn't really make an impact. Longstaff, and I told him the Meche should have started. He's a big brute, and he could have at least held the ball up. I felt sorry for Pirro. It was never going to be a game that he's going to get a lot of the ball, and he was ineffectual. So all naivety from the manager, from the players. I think the fans showed proper maturity in the sense that we knew this wasn't the day we're going to get points in this Premier League. We knew it's going to be different, and they supported the team. But anytime we do this again away or any game coming up, we got to be solid. And if it's ugly, so be it. If we've got 5 at the back and 4 in the middle, that's what you do. And you know, if you're losing 1 and 2-0 to Arsenal, you expect, but 5 was a bit disappointing. And and as much as we were on a high after Everton, we're on a low today. We have to get a bit of a balance right. You know, there's going to be other games. A tricky one against Newcastle, and then we've got a few games where up against the teams that we'll expect. But you look at how it turned around. Brentford beat Villa yesterday. You know, I think Burnley beat Sunderland. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight down there at the bottom. And still we hold on to, as I look up, we hold on to 12th place as Palace and Forest are 1-1. Well, the owner's just come running onto the pitch. No, he hasn't. No, but I expect him to do that later. Yeah, it's just Pan to Edu in the stand. Yeah, he's thinking, and to Nuno on the bench. Yeah, something's going to happen there this week. So somebody said, Nuno at Leeds before Christmas. No, I'm not calling for Daniel Farke. I'm not. But, you know, if we can't have too many games like this, and he knows that.
Yeah,
Sorry, go
absolutely.
for it.
And yeah, I mean, Michael makes the point, or made the point earlier here about, hoping that Farke's learned from this. And I suppose we've really had two games at sort of opposite ends, I think, of where we'll be
Mm,
this season. Obviously,
yeah,
I mean, I do think, Everton. I think obviously without the penalty, sounds obvious saying we wouldn't have won the game. I think we could have played for another hour, and Everton just sitting back and just wanting to get out of there with a point. I don't think we would have been able to break them down with the players we've got now.
yeah,
But dominating possession, dominating second balls, and we were just never ever going to get that yesterday. Um, and obviously there has to be a bit of pragmatism from Farker, I think, going forward, that we need to be able to play differently, which is odd because I felt like Farker was like that last season. I felt like we
mm,
were more pragmatic. I felt like we did play, we played really stunning football at times, like beating Cardiff 7-0,
mm,
beating
yeah,
Stoke 6-0. Like we played really flashy football, but then we also knew how to grub in and get, go to Oxford and get a win. So why? I mean, and to be fair, we don't know what Farker might have said. It might have just been sometimes you set up for one thing and it just doesn't happen. And
yeah,
playing
yeah,
against Arsenal, playing against Liverpool, City, Tottenham, whoever, that's going to happen again. We
yeah,
might just set up and it might just not work.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's sort of we're in a bit of a weird space now where we don't really know
mm,
what we are. Are we good
yeah, yeah.
or are we not? And that's a
Well,
bit. It's a bit
yeah.
it's a bit worrying, isn't it? That you just sort of someone might ask you, "Oh, how are Leeds getting on this season?" And you just
Mm.
say, "Well, I don't know really."
Well, we got 3 points. I said 4 points max out of these three games would be excellent. Even if we win one every three, you got to look at these way of looking at things. It's not bad. Newcastle and Arsenal. Newcastle are the Champions League. I know they're in Europe
Yep.
anyway because they won the League Cup. Yeah, so the Champions League, two Champions League teams. The gulf is big, and Arsenal in parts they looked good yesterday, but they lost the two players down after yesterday, Odegaard and Baka or Saka, sorry, not Baka, Saka or Dan. So, but yeah, they've got the depth of squad. But we've got to go there and just make it hard for them. Just frustrate them, frustrate the crowd. Although, having said that, I don't think I heard the Arsenal crowd. They'd got a drum, but was it 70,000 or whatever? The only fans that you could hear were Leeds fans. Really corporate fans don't make the noise, and not exactly a cauldron, a hell of a stadium, but not a cauldron. But that's where we are. That's Premier League. But where are we at the moment? I think we've got a quick game on Tuesday in the League Cup away to Sheffield Wednesday, which he'll probably try out the players who haven't played so far and change it around a bit. And then one against Newcastle next week again at 5:30, and the atmosphere again will be fantastic, and we've got to go in there with a proper plan. I think he'll change it. I think Bijal will get his debut probably because poor old Pascal got a bit of a run around, as did they all. But I think midfield, Longstaff and Tanaka. We got to look and see when these players play. Tanaka wasn't his game yesterday. Longstaff is probably more. He'll probably want to play against Newcastle.
Yeah.
So we've got to look at it like that. The wingers, I thought Willie tackled a bit yesterday, but ineffectual. Dan James still not fully fit. I think he tried, but it's different when somebody puts the ball over the top against Oxford and you're running in the keeper and finish. Different when it's up against Champions League teams. So I said at the beginning of the season, the team that starts the season won't necessarily be the one that'll be playing straight after the first international break. Interesting to see what we do in the transfer market this week. Munoz is still there. I think he'll probably score a hat trick today for Fulham, and that'll be him
Yeah.
gone. But I think we still need a striker and probably cover generally. We're getting close to the 25-man mark for the squad. I think as somebody says there, Largy's off, Schmidt is off as well, probably. So
Yeah, that's a bit
yeah,
of an odd one.
yeah,
The largely, and obviously, I mean, I think the quicker we move on from yesterday, the
yeah.
better. And because I think
I
I
was about to
think it
say,
is just one of those ones where you do just have to take it on the chin a little bit. And obviously, you'd rather have that happen now than we're in the run-in for a relegation fight and we get absolutely tonked and the wing goes out of any kind of
yeah,
momentum. So if we can learn lessons, it's another really tricky game. next weekend again will probably be, well, I'll be over the moon with a point, to be fair,
Yeah, take
and
point all
just
day.
try and not get battered. But yeah, so Largy's going off to
Yeah.
Valencia. I'm not really too sure how to feel about this one, Gerry, because he didn't obviously play a lot last season. I mean, Solomon and James were
Yeah.
basically undroppable, but every time
Yeah.
he came on, he looked decent and he looked like he would be good enough for the Premier League. But I think there's something there about his attitudes. There's a
Yeah.
reason why Fark has not played him, but it's a shame because I feel like we're losing a position where realistically we probably didn't have to sign anybody, whereas
Yeah.
now we're sort of, it's forcing our hand a bit. Um,
Maybe not too much harm really. I think largely when he started last season, he was brilliant. I remember him scoring in Cardiff, and then he got injured, and he never really got back. There was a couple of games he came on as sub, and he was losing possession and what have you, and he sort of came good at the end. Great at celebrating at the end of the
yeah,
season, but he never seemed to be Fark's favourite. And as Michael there says, Schmidt as well, never really figured. But I think we can see from the pre-season that Schmidt, maybe his level isn't the Premier League. So, that's football. It's a turnover. I mean, best move on from players like that. And if there's another wide player, I'd probably not now, I would say. Oh, we are in 12th place. Forest Palace finished 1-1. So that's something. That's not bad. We'll take 12th place all season, won't we?
yeah,
But yeah, there will. I imagine they're still looking for a fullback. I know James Justin is the one at Leicester, but he's been injured. He got injured last week, so I think he might be off the radar. He's not been the same player after a bad injury. So we'll expect a backup fullback and possibly a striker. Who knows? Will it be Munez? What about Mitrovic? I've mentioned this before. He was linked. I'd take someone like Mitrovic. I mean, yesterday Mitrovic would have. He mightn't have scored him. He still might have lost 5-0, but he would. Them centre halves would have known they're in a game. We
yeah,
need bad bastards in there. We need dirty Leeds and everything else. And we were just way too nice. So it's one game against potential champions,
yeah,
and we win, get something next week. It's forgotten about. And even if
yeah,
we don't win next week, 3 points from the first 3 games, a point a game, etc., etc. And let's show that. I think Fark just needs to show that he's flexible in what he can do tactically. Because if he keeps going out with the same team that played at home the other night away to teams like this, we are going to. It's not going to work. So
yeah,
we'll be grand. We'll be
yeah.
grand. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? And then the other thing is, and I'm sort of taking this from the square ball a little bit. You are already looking at which other teams are going to take up the
Yeah.
3 relegation places, and obviously, Burnley, a bit of a surprise. I think Sunderland
Yeah.
obviously were fantastic on opening day, showed they were fallible. West Ham are in a real bad spot at the moment. Wolves look like they might sort of sleepwalk there. Brentford might be in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's not, it looked on paper, and I've been saying this for ages, that looks on paper like it was going to be a really difficult season this season, because you still assume that Wolves are good, you assume that Brentford are good, you assume that West Ham are good. 3 of those teams, plus debatably a couple of others, are going to have really hard seasons, and we've got to make sure that we're more like we were against Everton, more than we were against Arsenal. Simple as that.
18
And
league.
after after Newcastle, I don't think we've got a nasty run of games until about November. We've got a nice sort of undulating fixture list of sort of playing the good teams in between, games where we've got a chance to get them back. So yeah, well, I personally think we'll be fine, sore enough against Everton. And obviously, still got a week or so to go in the transfer market to getting a couple more players. So it's Sheffield Wednesday next, which will be maybe a chance for a bit of stat padding, get some goals in against.
They've done all right, haven't they? They drew at Wrexham yesterday, and they were lucky to lose first game at Leicester. Considering the situation they're in, I'm not looking for. It's a dreadful ground, Hillsborough. I went there last year and complained. We were in behind the Leppings Lane end, which has obviously got all that bad history, and it was dreadful. The whole stadium's falling apart. I didn't think it was safe, to be honest. But yeah, it's a good chance to get fresh legs out there, get the results out of our systems, and go and get a good win. And yeah, move on to the next round, because we'll probably win the League Cup this year. And maybe not win the Premier League, as I said last week. We'd probably have to settle for top four now. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah. Never getting carried away, though. Yeah.
No, never. Always with your feet on the ground, Gerry, as always.
Yeah.
So there we go. Then I think we've just about covered everything. I think we'll let everyone get on with their bank holidays. So yeah, Sheffield Wednesday next on Tuesday night away at Hillsborough, and then Newcastle away. Another Saturday 5:30 game. And obviously, we'll see what happens in the transfer market this week. Hopefully, a couple of additions. But Gerry, thank you very much for joining.
We got a couple of Arsenal fans.
I know. I've just seen that. A couple commenting. Yeah.
Hey, welcome, lads. Welcome to a big club. Yeah. Did you like the atmosphere yesterday, lads? Because I don't think he's had much. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know what, Gerry? They're coming in peace. Let's make them feel welcome.
Yeah. Well, just for the record, I don't like Declan Rice because he's a mercenary. But anyway, I'll put that on record.
You've never said that before, Gerry.
I've never mentioned it before. Yeah, but yeah, that's football. Arsenal are a good team. We're not going to finish above Arsenal. So
no.
Yeah, Jack Grealish has been interviewed on the pitch. Apparently, played well. He's the other nemesis, but Everton won today, so they go above us on goal difference. So we're 12th. I'm just looking at the league table. We're 12th, so that'll do. Just behind Burnley. Goal difference is the big thing, after that trouncing yesterday. So we're still level on points with Man City. So they're in trouble. It's an 18 league. That's what it is. We're in an 18 league, and we just gotta finish fourth in that. I think.
Yeah. How hard could it be?
Top four of that.
Anyway. Anyway, thank you, Gerry, for joining me. And I might be back this week. Depends on Aaron's nappies and yeah, and everything like that.
Congratulations, Aaron. Yeah, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Aaron. And hope little Olive is all well. I'm going to try and end the stream with an outro now, because I tried to do this on Wednesday, but here we go. Okay, bear with me a second.
If you want. Yeah.
Oh no, here we go. There we go. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.